Hey guys, this is Joe. Today I want to introduce you to our partner Vanta. Achieving ISO 27001 or SOC 2 compliance can unlock major growth for your company and build customer trust, but the process can be time intense and costly. Vanta automates compliance, getting your audit ready quickly and saving up to 85% of associated costs. And Vanta scales with your business, helping you enter new markets. Join 7,000 global companies like Atlassian, Flow Health, and Quora that trust Vanta. Claim 20% off Vanta at vanta.com/startupradio. That's vanta.com, spelled vanta.com/startupradio.
Welcome to Startuprad.io, your podcast and YouTube blog covering the German startup scene with news, interviews, and live events.
Welcome everybody, this is Joe from Startuprad.io, your startup podcast and YouTube blog from Germany, bringing you again a finalist of the Content Shift Accelerator program, live and direct with a remote recording. As we said before in the other interviews, usually we would have done this at the Frankfurt Book Fair, which is one of the largest fairs in the book printing and book publishing in the world. Unfortunately, it was completely cancelled this year due to Corona, and therefore we are interviewing all the finalists of the Content Shift Accelerator program here on Startuprad.io and bringing you some changes between now and here, some very different angles, some very different startups. That said, I do welcome Patrick, the COO of Scriptbakery, here with me. Hello and welcome. How you doing?
Hi, Jörn. Thanks for having me. I'm doing fine.
We talked before, and actually, there is, of course, everybody who listens to this or watches this on YouTube, go down here in the show notes. There is a link to our blog post, and there you can find all the relevant links. And that's where we try to keep up to date, because in the past we had to change some URLs and some stuff. And it's quite tedious to do this in all channels. So basically we're sticking to linking our blog post. That said, your LinkedIn profile doesn't tell a lot about you, but when we talked before the recording, you told me you have been active in online marketing before, right?
Yes, that's correct. I was employee of a small software and digital marketing agency here in Southwest Germany. During my time in the university, I studied business administrations in Freiburg, and part-time I worked at the agency and did some Google advertising, did some search engine optimization, and also Instagram and Facebook advertising.
What's your best hint for Instagram? What works best?
I think Instagram is in dire need of authenticity. So don't overproduce everything. Don't make everything the best content you believe there is. Just make it the best you can actually produce. It has to be so relevant to your own brand. I see many startups trying to mimic the Instagram account of multi-billion-dollar industries and trying to polish it up. I think just stay true to your own brand, to what you actually are right now, and communicate that to your audience.
I see. And you more or less recently graduated from university, also in the very lovely southern town of Freiburg. Since we are heard across the world, we may add that Freiburg is a smaller, very nice city in the very southwest of Germany, and is known to have like the highest temperatures usually in Germany. So it has a very lovely cold microclimate, right?
Yeah, you could argue that Freiburg is the cosmopolitan Toscana area of Tuscany area of Germany. So we are actually blessed with very good weather. even in Christmas times, we had degrees of 20 degrees Celsius. Some years ago, it's sometimes not very themey for Christmas, but many people like it.
For the Americans out there, 20 degrees Celsius is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That said, you actually made me smile. You actually made me laugh out loud when you said you got your job as COO of this company because you have a black belt in Kung Fu.
Yeah, that's true. So it's a long story.
Okay, first thing that came to my mind, you really need to beat your employees, but you said no, different connection, right?
Yeah, actually, the beatings are not necessary right now, and I'm very glad about that. We get along just fine with verbal communications.
And how did this black belt bring you to your current job?
Yeah, okay. So it's a story about my boss, Jonas, the founder of Scriptbakery. And he actually trained at the same gym that I trained, but I was already graduated in the master program, you could say. So I got the black belt already, and he just joined the gym. And I had the responsibility to teach him the fundamentals of Kung Fu and martial arts. And he actually liked it really much. Also, I guess because of my teaching style, which he found to be a good split between, I guess, authority and friendship. So lead by example, but also stay very humble at the same time, I guess, is a thing that you can compare between my teaching style in martial arts and my management style in Scriptbakery right now.
Do you also think your martial arts experience, your martial arts training, did bring you some discipline, some learning abilities that you can use right now?
Yeah, I definitely do think so. I can just say that it's very good for self-confidence, for stress relief, for dealing with very high pressure situations. Um, it, I just think to myself, if the things really heat up around me, I just think, what's the worst that could happen? Someone could try to murder me. I could die or something like that. And I'm actually not honestly, I don't didn't have to be in a situation where I had to defend myself actually, but I can actually say that I won't get knocked out by the first punch that would hit me. And that's the same thing for business as well. Like right now, startup in the COVID-19 pandemic are very endangered, I would say. And it's just a thing like go on, take the hit, and keep going.
I know what you're saying from my past working as a consultant. I can always say it really helps if you know you could just whack out the shit of this table. It really, really helps with the stress release. That said, you touched coronavirus, COVID-19. What is your experience with Scriptbakery or your other duties so far? What was the impact?
Yeah, the impact on the book market was very huge, I would say. The big fairs got cancelled, Leipzig Buchmesse and Frankfurt Book Fair. It's a huge impact on every bookseller. We are having a small publishing house in our agency as well, and it's just devastating, honestly. But for Scriptbakery, it's also a very huge opportunity because we focus on digitalization, we focus on cost cutting, productivity increasing, and that's just the very thing every publishing house is now looking to, because you have to, I guess, clean the house now because COVID-19 and the pandemic will, sink the revenue. So you have to cut all possible costs and look into remote work, look into digitalization of your management, and that's just a thing we can help every publishing house to do right now.
That said, what you guys are actually offering? What is Scriptbakery? Does it have a lot to do with bakery?
It does have some things to do, of course, with bakery. It's a very, I guess, artisan handcraftmanship tool, I guess, for publishing houses, because it helps on a very fundamental, rudimentary thing that is manuscripts. Manuscripts are the very basis for every content there is, also, of course, for books. And we help every publishing house to receive these manuscripts in a digital way, to analyze them, to manage them, to get an overview of the manuscripts you already have. And then we can also help you to detect some manuscripts which will fit in your publishing corpus, like the things you already published, and which manuscripts would actually fit into that. So we try to help you make time for the more important things, because right now nobody has time to read all the manuscripts that the publishing house actually receives. We have a rough estimate: about 98% of all manuscripts that publishing houses are getting right now are not being read because nobody has the time.
A stupid question from somebody who's not in any way related to the publishing industry. Is it normally the case that there's like one department which has to deal with all the manuscripts that get turned in, like on request, paid for, or just random people dropping their manuscript all over because they in hopes to be published? Are those guys are actually, is there like a whole department full of chairs where people are sitting and just reading all the time?
No, actually not. That would be way too expensive. Right now, there are, as I said, 98% that are not being read because many authors just send the manuscript by email. Of course, there's a lot of, I would say, not so good manuscripts that are being sent in, but also a lot of hidden gems, you might say. And it's the job of the editorial to actually look after these manuscripts if they actually get the time. Most often it's just a networking thing, because authors get the connection to the editorial and can say to the editor, "Hey, please read my manuscript, give me some feedback. I'm very proud of it. Give it a chance, please." And that would be the case in which actually a manuscript gets read, because right now you get a huge amount of manuscripts, and you know only maybe 1-2% of these manuscripts are actually worth the time reading it. So you may get some practicants, get some volunteers into reading the manuscripts, but actually a full-time employee will never have the time to do it.
Ha, too bad. That would be a dream job, sitting in the chair all day and reading. That would be great, even though you actually have to grade all the stuff you're reading, and actually you also like have to, as you say, read through less desirable scripts. I understand. And what does your software actually do? It just helps you, okay, I got this one, I got that one, I got this one, or does it have some like analytics capability?
Yeah, the big cost-cutting thing is actually digitalization, that you actually have a manuscript receivement software which gets rid of all the analog process, because a lot of publishing houses, especially in Germany, are very conservative and still work with analog print documents. That's of course very cost intensive. Yeah, that's the management part, and we also have addition to it the analytics, and that's powered by artificial intelligence. And there we actually can compare the new manuscripts to the old already published books, and compare how similar are these manuscripts to your already published books. Are they preferable for your program, or do you actually wish to sell this manuscript to some other service or to some other publishing house, because you realize this manuscript is a crime manuscript. It's about horror, murder, whatever. And you're actually just publishing theology, philosophy, economics, I don't know, something like that. So it doesn't fit. So you can automatically realize it through the software. The artificial intelligence detects it, and then you can make some other money with it.
What would be interesting for my audience? How do you actually teach a software to recognize something is an economics book, is a horror book, or is just a sci-fi novel? How do you teach a computer that?
Okay, so it's all about machine learning, natural language processing. Our developers are in the field of linguistics, and they detect various variables around the manuscripts. So you have various facts or metrics you can detect, and of course, something like the amount of commas is very basic, but also already telling. And then it gets more complex, like a reading index. How complicated is the text actually written, and other facts. The basic thing is you look out for all these metrics. We even can try to detect some emotions you get when you read the text. So maybe you are reading some medical text and getting anger or frustration or panic, something like that. And it works with machine learning already, the published books. So you have a huge corpus, maybe already 10,000, 30,000 published books in your publishing house. You detect all these books and you tell the machine beforehand, this one is crime. You are now going to read 1,000 crime books, and the machine will recognize similarities between all these 1,000 crime books and will then be able to tell a new book apart from a crime book or science book, whatever. So it's all about pattern recognition.
One question I would have, how many thousands of books did you already put through your system? How much did you teach it? And which languages are currently working? Is it just German, English, Chinese, whatever?
Okay, some facts. The linguistic science is actually already 200 years old. It's already quite old, which might be surprising. We have right now 1.7 million data points, you might say. And we have about 150 linguistic metrics which detect some differences and similarities. And these already work in, the basic ones work in all European languages, Spanish, French, German, English. And we are right now looking to develop it further into the Arabic and Asian languages. But right now, the prototype is in German, and it's very easy to have the next step for the European languages because it's already implemented, and the development will stretch it out.
Very interesting. So you are actually right now looking for clients like publishing houses working with European languages, which would be everything like German, Austrian, Swiss German, Italian, Eastern European, Slavic languages, Nordic languages like Danish, Swedish, Norwegian, as well as English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. Would that be about right?
Yes, that's right. Publishing houses are the favorite customer right now because they, of course, have the most amount of manuscripts and also are in need of the management digitalization and the analytics. But we can also use just the analytics for several customer cases. Especially the science-based publishing houses don't need that much management because they don't receive that many manuscripts. But they definitely need the analytics.
What kind of publishing houses actually receives like most input? Is there like the most people are just writing sci-fi manuscripts? How is it? Where are the most manuscripts turned in? Like novels, like sci-fi novels, like crime books? what is the majority of manuscripts you have experienced so far?
So we actually have a small publishing house in our agency, and the most amount of manuscripts would be regional literature. It's really crazy the amount of photo books, regional crime books, regional fantasy even stuff we get about the city of Freiburg. Is really interesting. And I would also say it's our experience with the larger publishing houses that it's a lot of biographies of especially older people, teachers, professors, doctors who are in the older age and actually decide to write a book about their own life. And that's I would guess the biggest amount, the biggest part. But also there are a lot of novels about fantasy in general because it's a huge market, and the crime is the second most, I would say.
Ha! I'm a totally outsider with listening to a lot of sci-fi books. That said, I would be curious. You guys are currently bootstrapped. You said you are in a group of companies to which also a regional publishing house belongs to, right? So you're not right now looking for something like external VC investors or something?
Oh, definitely, we are. We are a small enterprise, you might say. We have two brands, which is the Scriptbakery, the software, and the small publishing agency. But they are, I would say, two sides of the same coin or two brands of one company. And Scriptbakery definitely is looking for investors. We are right now working with a small investor, a regional investor, which holds a small amount of shares, but we are already looking for international development. And for that, we will definitely need some guidance, some help of a bigger investor who has some, at best, international experience.
And that may be an ideal place for an investor interested in AI.
Yes, we are already getting funded from stateside artificial intelligence development. So the state of Baden-Württemberg is funding our program already because of the technical innovation in the field of linguistics and publishing. So it's very unique, I guess, point and a unique fusion between creative content publishing and technical artificial intelligence. And we are already looking for more investment in that branch.
We may add, because most people are listening to this or watching this are actually from outside of Germany. And we may add that Baden-Württemberg is one of the 16 states of Germany. That said, you guys are part of the Content Shift Accelerator program. What kind of benefits did you derive from it, and what type of companies would you recommend to apply for the next batch?
So Content Shift actually was very helpful for us. We have the advantage of having a lot of knowledge about the publishing market already because we have a small publishing house in our agency, but the networking is the very biggest benefit of Content Shift. You actually are going to sit in a workshop together with about 8 heads of the publishing industry, and you really can say that the network of these people together stretches about over the complete market. So you can actually reach everyone through these persons. And you also get a coaching. We have had a lot of very good experience with Coach Oke Schlüter. He is a doctor of a media and content campus in Stuttgart, and has a lot of knowledge, has helped us with our business model, with our marketing, with our go-to-market strategy. And also you have the networking through the other jury people and the other coaches, mentors. So I really can recommend it to everyone looking to get into the German publishing market. You also get a lot of knowledge about the market in general, which was not necessary for us, but also a good refresh anyway. And the reach through these events is also very nice. We will have a final pitch at the Frankfurt Book Fair, directed to every visitor, which is of course something you always take because it's very nice. You get a lot of reach. We even got recommended for the follow-up program, which is international and Europe-based Creative Shift. So it's the same host, you could say, the Börsenverein in Germany, but it stretches all about Europe, and we are just getting started there with some other content branches. And it's very nice to get in touch with gaming industry, with audiovisual technology industry. So you get a lot of knowledge and networking through Content Shift and the follow-up program.
Well, basically, that's everything I want to know for this interview. Only thing left for me to say is best of luck and good luck with the hunt for your next investor.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the interview. And we are looking forward to get some investment, and then you will definitely hear from us again.
Great. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's all, folks. Find more news, streams, events, and interviews at www.startuprad.io. Remember, sharing is caring.